Right then, on the eve of the World Test Championship final, we're here to talk about a few things. Do participate as always, as Rahul and Gargi build up to the World Test Championship final. Nikhil too will be joining us hopefully.
Yes.
Not from Oval though, he'll be in Manchester. Do ask him what he was doing there. Rahul, you have any idea?
Yeah, I believe he was playing a football match.
Yes.
Although he's there to cover the cricket test match, but he was there in Manchester just for a brief while. Don't worry, he'll be back in London tomorrow, rather at the Oval tomorrow for the test match. But I don't think it's going to take too much of time for him to travel from Manchester to. I don't know if he's traveling tonight or early morning.
Yes, I think he's traveling
Yes.
later at night.
Yes. So, so firstly, let me just tell you what exactly has happened today. The Indian team, of course, they chose to practice in the morning, and as we speak right now, the Australian team is practicing at the Oval. And once they are done with their practice, that extra layer of grass will be shaved off from the wicket. So, whatever pictures we've seen since yesterday or since day before of the wicket, well, it will not be as green as we have seen in the last couple of days. So, and for the practice today, it was an optional practice, and this is usually the manner in which the Indian team operates of late. On the eve of any test match, it is always an optional practice. But what might change tomorrow is usually what happens, Gargi, Harshit, if you've noticed that all those players who turn out for the optional practice on the eve of the test match,
Usually the
they
ones who don't
usually
play.
do not make it to the
Yes.
playing 11. But today, Rohit Sharma was there, so was Ashwin, KS Bharat was also there, and I believe Umesh Yadav was also there for the optional practice. Yashasvi Jaiswal, well, he is not in the 15-member squad, so he was also there, but let's keep him out for the time being, unless that injury, that thumb injury that happened. I don't know if I can call it a thumb injury, although it's not too serious. He was taking those throwdowns, Rohit Sharma, from Raghu, and he was hit on his left thumb. After that, I think the physio just had a look at his thumb, and he got it taped.
Yeah.
And then he returned for the net session. I don't know how it turns up tomorrow, if there is a swelling or not, but as of now what we've been told is everything is fine with Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
So you will see him at the toss tomorrow alongside Pat Cummins.
Yes.
So that's the these are the developments today. And as far as weather is concerned, Pat Cummins, by the way, Rohit Sharma had his press conference earlier in the day, and as expected didn't reveal the 11. Australians, though, they have I think they have revealed their 11. So Scott Boland just comes in as a replacement and was expected also.
Were very much unexpected
Very
lines.
much like for like replacement for Josh Hazelwood, and I think rest of the squad or the 11 is pretty much on the expected lines. For the Indians, though, it still remains to be seen whether they are going with 2 spinners and 3 fast bowlers, or is it going to be 4 fast bowlers and 1 spinner. So things have changed. The last time India travelled to England, if you leave out that
The one-off,
the
not the
postponed
one-off, yeah.
test match, the rescheduled test match. So there Virat was, it was a different team management. Now Rohit Sharma is the captain, Rahul Dravid is the head coach. So there is a possibility that Ashwin might just get a look in, or in the playing 11. So that seems to be the possible 11 for me, although anything can happen. No?
Yeah, I think to begin with, Rohit Sharma went to the practice session because in the PC I did a video on it, so I know everything that he said. So in the PC he talked about, because the press conference was very early in the morning, that he didn't get a chance to look at the pitch, and he said I'll be visiting during the practice session, so that's why he went, I guess. And Boland was very predictable. I think it was right there. There was no question about it. And
just that, you know, some people may have thought that Mike Neser was there playing in the county, so he has been playing with the Duke's balls. So there was an outside chance, but then Scott Boland, he's done pretty well with the red ball for Australia. For Australia. So I think, and it's also a like for like replacement.
Absolutely.
He also has that ability to just, you know, hit the deck and from where the ball kicks off. Yeah, sorry, you can continue.
Yeah, so I was just referring to that. I remember reading this article. I don't remember exactly, but they were talking about how Scott Boland has a lot of movement in his ball. And the way that he's played in the domestic league in Australia for Victoria,
for Sheffield Shield, in Sheffield Shield also he's done, and for Australia also, because you know, with these three fast bowlers in Josh Hazlewood, Mitchell Starc and Pat Cummins, not always do you see all of them playing together. Somebody or the other is injured or rested. I think. All right, we have Nikhil Nas joining us from
outside Old Trafford.
Oh. Nikhil, can you hear us?
network issues.
Okay. Yeah, so Scott Boland, I think, was an obvious choice. So, but I think the question is, can India finally break the jinx? This question was asked to Rohit Sharma also. The same question was asked to Pat Cummins also.
Yes.
And it was asked to Rahul Dravid also yesterday.
Wow.
So Rahul Dravid was asked that, you know, it's been 10 years that India haven't won, and there's a lot of talk about ICC trophies which haven't been there in the Indian cabinet for a decade now. How does that impact the Indian players, their dressing room? He said, we're not impacted at all. The way we look at this final, of course, he said that having an ICC trophy does well. It, you know, it just acts as you know, another piece of silverware, let's say, in the cabinet. But the fact that we've made it to the final is also testament to the good cricket that we've played over the last 2 years. So, of course, having an ICC trophy, you know, is a feel-good thing to have.
True.
But even if it's not there, they're saying that we've done some good work, which is why we're here to play a good game of Test cricket over the next 5 days.
All right, I think we've got Nikhil back.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. Can you hear us?
I've been hearing you for the last 5-7 minutes.
Oh, great. So, Nikhil, are you
just-
done with your match or?
I'm done. I had to play 3 matches back to back. I think at one point I thought I won't last, but I lasted. I didn't embarrass myself. I played with Berbatov, Wes Brown, and Andy Cole.
Oh,
And we lost that match, by the way, 9-8.
9-8.
And that team had, I'll tell you, it had Berbatov, Wes Brown, Andy Cole, Renedy Singh, JJ, and Robin Singh. That was the team.
Oh, that's great. So you carried your luck from Delhi or Delhi NCR to England, huh?
There it is, Manchester United. Can you see? Harshad will know he's a big United fan. The Holy Trinity, where would that be? There they are. I can see them. I can see them. You can see them. There. People are clicking the pictures. But it's very cold and windy in Manchester. I don't know today. By the way, you know, usually I give you all the information, but today I'm going to be asking you guys for a lot of information. I believe the grass has not been shaved on the pitch, is it?
But once the practice, because as we speak, the Australian team is practicing there at the Oval, and once they're done with their practice, that extra layer of grass will be shaved off.
Oh.
But that was
Okay, that's
expected, no?
what. It is expected, and before people think that it is being done to favor one team or the other, I don't think so. It's simple. You can't have that kind of a pitch for a final of a World Test Championship and an uneven contest. People keep cribbing when there are spin-friendly pitches in India, saying it's favoring one side, which is just the bowler. Then why would you want to have a pitch like that for a final? So it has to be even for batsman and bowler, which is why grass needs to be shaved off. People want to see a 4-day test match, not a 2-day test match. They've come from all over the world.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to tell you, who did I bump into last evening? I'll send you a picture to prove it. It was by chance that I bumped into Mr. Chris Gale at a restaurant last night.
Mr. Chris Gale.
Yes,
Oh.
at a restaurant last night. Just bumped into him. So, as usual, I asked him about WTC. I was like, he said he'll be in London, so he would be leaving today from Manchester. He was here to just meet a friend. I just bumped into him. I said, what do you reckon? He feels Australia, in these conditions, windy conditions that you've got, overcast conditions. He thought that Australia will be a handful for India. So just some expert opinion from Mr. Gale as well, who I bumped into.
Certainly, the Australians, they do start as favourites, but then you never know. If the Indian openers can get a few runs under their belt and give India a good start, irrespective whether they are batting first or they are batting.
Acha, 1 second.
Yeah.
My chauffeur-driven car has come. I just want to show off. It's a Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce Ghost. So I'm just going to be sitting in my car, and then we can talk. Yeah. See this.
No,
See this, huh?
I've sat in one of them.
You have sat.
You know our
have.
friend, na? You know our friend that we've often mentioned about that petrol pump. Yeah.
Ah,
this is
yes.
By
In
the
front
way-
of a very important person's house, that petrol pump.
And where are you headed to?
Now, I'm going to be headed towards the station because I want to take the train now back to London, finish with the event. And I did, by the way, it's going to be coming up on Sports Today. I did interviews with Andy Cole and Dimitrov Berbatov. And I'll tell you, just a bit of a teaser, Berbatov interview is one of the best conversations I've had on sport. It was such an education. The way he explained football, Indian football, because remember he played in the ISL as well, right?
Yes.
So he explained the problems with Indian football so well, I can't tell you. And what a fantastic conversation! I absolutely loved the Berbatov interview. It's not very long, about an 11-minute interview, but really enjoyed that conversation. He's such a brain. I think he'll make a great manager as well. Outstanding conversation. So that I'll be sending. So basically, I finished the interviews and then I'm heading to the station. Before that, there is a live I have to do at 8 o'clock India time in another, I think 20-25 minutes, which I think I will do from the station and then board the next train and get to London. So.
Not bad, huh? Rolls Royce Ghost. Berbatov got to play at Old Trafford.
And my friend who I told him to record, I scored a goal in that Legends game. Yeah, he didn't record my goal. Very disappointed.
They were not recording it.
No, I recorded it. I was playing, so I gave it to a friend to record. He recorded a few bits when I was playing, but he missed the bit when I scored the goal. He didn't record that.
Don't worry, we trust you. But yeah, for this would have been something for the keeps.
I tell you, I was not feeling great in the morning because I traveled very late after doing the previews, and also I got here very late. And then I had the dinner very late and hardly got any sleep. I had to get up early. So I was not feeling great. I was like, I shouldn't have traveled. It's become too hectic. And how will I play the game after so much travel and, late night dinner, feeling very heavy. As soon as I reached Old Trafford, entered the Manchester United Stadium, all of that vanished. suddenly came into like, life. You just that excitement being there. I've recorded all of that. I'm going to make a vlog of it, which I will put on Sports Today. I've done one in Hindi also for Sports Tech. So I'll put that vlog of just the experience of how, we got welcomed and how, with my bag. Ah. So I just got worried. have I forgotten my bag? But my good friend Devang is here. He's the rich man who owns the car. So I'm just giving him company. So he put the bag there. But it was an amazing experience. So what is the public saying? I want to know about the test match. क्या है? What is the latest information? You guys can tell. Public क्या बोल रही है? क्या बोलती है public?
No, so what happened today? There was a scare. So there was a scare. Sorry.
Why scared? Hardly anybody came for practice, as I heard. What was
No,
the
but
scare?
the one man who, not one, in fact, 4 of them came for the practice today, and Rohit was hit on his left thumb by, he was taking those throwdowns, and suddenly there was, what people usually expect or what usually happens. So there was an injury scare, but thankfully everything is fine, especially because it was Rohit Sharma. So there was a bit of chatter on social media and here and there that maybe, you never know, maybe he's out, but thankfully he's fine and everything is fine in fact. And Rohit then got back to his, just got his left thumb taped by the physio and returned for his, to resume his net session. So that's.
By the way, I remember this happened. He got hit on his hand just ahead of that semi-final World T20, the T20 World Cup semi-final against England at Adelaide. I still remember the Australia T20 World Cup. Before that semi-final, he got hit on his hand, Rohit Sharma, and became breaking news. It was that whether he'll be fit or not. But then he got okay. Again, similar thing. He got it taped and he played the game. Huh?
Not a good omen.
Not a good omen. Actually, he didn't have a great game also. And of course, India lost. He got hit on the hand. But by the way, I don't know if you guys saw that because I believe our Ashwin has been making a few videos because, he apart from playing YouTubes as well.
I saw
so in that, he was talking about the pitches. He's saying practice pitches, our players are getting hit again and again. So they're not very happy with the practice pitches. It's doing a bit. So if practice pitches are like that, can you imagine? If the main pitch happens to be like that, then that's not a great sign. Or unless they've not, really paid a lot of attention in terms of the practice pitch, and so that is why it's like that. And of course, they would have paid a lot of attention to the main pitch, I guess.
I saw that video that R. Ashwin did for his own channel, where he just walked into the stadium and spoke to a couple of pitch curators also, or some of the members of the ground staff, and was just asking them about the wicket and everything. And interestingly, Nikhil, a few county matches were played here on this wicket at the Oval, and not too long ago, by the way. And I think not a single spinner played on this wicket, as in the county championships, as in not a single frontline spinner. Although you can always say that England in English county you don't have those great spinners, but then it also tells you that maybe the conditions are not too conducive for spinners, because this time of the year, I understand, if you ask, traditionally we say that Oval is one wicket where the ball or the spinners tend to do well, and in the past we've seen that. But I think this Oval is different from the Oval where we usually play or test cricket usually happens, because that happens at the end of the season. Now it is this test match is happening right at the start of the season, and the conditions could be as similar to maybe what you will experience in Lords, or maybe what you would find in Manchester, where you are at this point in time.
I am in 100% agreement. Though interestingly, in the discussion that we've now got on Sports Today with Sunny Gavaskar, he has said that he will go with the two spinners, and he has logic there, of course, which is that go with your best bowlers. So, as you pointed out, that in county they've not been playing a spinner, but obviously they don't have spinners of the quality of a Jadeja and an Ashwin, top two bowlers in Test cricket. So, if you have those, why not play them? That is Mr. Gavaskar's opinion, and we've got it up on Sports Today. I think that video is already up. But I am in agreement with what you have said. Looking at the conditions, by the way, I saw practice session very closely yesterday, both India and Australia's. Even net bowlers who are not very quick, some of those net bowlers that were bowling for both practice sessions, even they're proving to be difficult. Who has been playing county cricket here, who's gotten probably more used to the conditions compared to other batsmen. Even he was sometimes in the net struggling with the movements. The ball was moving around. I was nipping in the nets. So if you go by the conditions that we've had in the nets, and I'm sure Indian batsmen have taken note of that because they've been playing. I have a feeling that India will not play both spinners. There's going to be one spinner. You're going to see four fast bowlers. Also, one other thing that is going to play on their mind is the fact that they made a mistake. Yes, different ground, different conditions, Southampton, different time. They made a mistake last time around. If they again make that mistake, there'll be a lot of backlash. So that and the conditions, I don't see them play two spinners. You've got to play one spinner. I think that will be right for the conditions. No point playing two spinners. I know Ian Bell has said that here on this ground, you will not maybe in the first inning, but second innings you will need two spinners. But I don't know. This is in June. Even Ian Bell wasn't sure of the conditions in June. He said no test matches happened. So all of that taken into account, I don't think two spinners is the right way to go. One spinner, and that one spinner for me is Ashwin. You've got to play Ashwin for a few reasons. One, he's good against left-handers. And two, we all know that he has a kind of the wood over Steve Smith. He remember in Australia how he was planning and he had plans against Smith, he would dismiss him. And Smith is going to be the key once again. So if I'm playing one spinner, I'm playing Ashwin. If Jadeja misses out, so be it.
I agree. And for me, why Ashwin? He is a higher rated bowler. If he is the best spinner in the world, you should play him. And also those 5 left-handers in the Australian 11. I think Ashwin should get a place in the 11. And irrespective of whether you play 2 spinners or 4 fast bowlers, I think Shardul Thakur, for me, I think he will definitely make the cut. That's what I think. I think Shardul.
No, if three fast bowlers, does he make the cut for you then? In case let's say India play 2 spinners.
Yes, I think Rohit will play him.
I think
whatever you think, whatever you may think, or I.
How can you play? I mean.
Maybe your internet is not backing your argument, Nikhil.
I don't know. See, the thing is that if you would say whatever.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, sorry. I think.
Internet? Hello?
Get him back.
No, I was saying that Rahul for his batting, then I'm a bit surprised because if you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Now we can, Nikhil.
Okay. I'm saying if you are playing 2 spinners, and that was my question, batting, then I'll be a bit surprised because 2 spinners, then you've got 6, 7, and 8 in Bharat, Jadeja, and Ashwin. That's pretty much sorted. You don't need number 9 some batting. So let batting not be the criteria to play sharp. If 2 spinners are playing, I'm saying. If not, then of course Shardul comes in because you need that batting at number 8. So he comes in, okay. But if 2 spinners are playing, Siraj, Shami and Umesh has been very unlucky, wouldn't get too many chances when Bumrah was there, when Ishant Sharma was there, because they would play ahead of him. So Umesh had to sit out, but whenever he got a chance, he's proven himself. So I don't know. For me, Umesh any day over Shardul Thakur. Shardul is yes all-round option, but as a bowler, I don't know. Shardul also picks up a few wickets here and there, but those are I mean, rare overs that suddenly get some movement, picks up
I agree
wickets.
with
So
you. I
whether it's
agree with
biting on
you.
Umesh,
Maybe if they do not have too much of confidence in their batting, I think they will play Shardul Thakur A. Secondly, Umesh Yadav and Jaydev Unadkat. I don't know where they stand as far as their fitness is concerned. Both are coming out of brief injury layoffs. Jaydev Unadkat hurt his shoulder, and then Umesh had a hamstring issue. He had a hamstring issue, Umesh, if I'm knee issue, something
Yeah.
to do with his legs. So and Shardul Thakur, I don't know. I somehow feel that Rohit might just be tempted to play Shardul Thakur. He will, and if the optional practice on the eve of test match has become any sort of an indication as to what your 11 because it now has become a tradition of sorts, as you play you have an optional practice session on the eve of the test match, every test match, and usually those who do turn out for the optional practice, they don't make the cut. So by that logic, Umesh Yadav came out for the practice today, so did KS Bharat, so did Ashwin and Rohit Sharma. So Rohit Sharma, of course, he I think will play, but can't say about the others. No? Yeah, because he is traveling. So,
sorry.
your voice is breaking up in between. I don't know if going by his reaction, I think he has
Lost connection.
heard us.
We've lost him for now.
Chalo, what is your 11?
Did you?
Rirak.
Do we have him? Chalo, Gargi.
Well, I agree with what you said, that just play your best 11, play your best bowlers, whoever is in form. But then going by what Rohit has been saying, and in the PC especially today, that he said the pitch is changing very drastically day to day, and it's they're expecting it to reverse swing. I mean, give assistance to a lot of pacers and seamers over there, and they're expecting.
Did he
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it's a reverse swing?
Yeah, he said that it's very similar to the last time we played in the Oval.
Of course,
And he's-
he I'm sure he is a better judge of conditions and everything because of the amount of cricket that he's played. But that's what I'm saying. This oval and the oval that you played and the
In 21.
exactly
Yeah.
in 21. These are completely
Different conditions. Yeah.
These are two different conditions. This is right at the start of the season, where the wicket is absolutely fresh. Even if you are playing two spinners, see, the overhead conditions.
Yeah.
Because in England usually you say that it's not just on the wicket, you also have to see what the overhead conditions are. And secondly, this is a fresh wicket. It may not even break up, by the way,
That's-
till
exactly.
That's
third
where
day
things
or
become
even fourth
interesting
day.
for India,
So
because
for spinners, because of course there will be some natural wear and tear, because if you are playing non-stop cricket for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, the wicket will have some wear and tear, but it won't break up so easily as it usually would
had you
when
been
you are
playing in
playing.
July,
Yeah,
August.
exactly.
Exactly.
But
So that's one thing.
But the one thing interestingly, Rahul, is like we were seeing with today's broadcast as well, when Nikhil was joined with Sunny Ji, it was nice and shiny today in London.
But it changes very quickly.
It changes exactly. This is where I think things become interesting and doubly complicated. Let's say for Team India. Now, if you are to rely on the sun, which you can't, by the way, if you're in London, Then you were hoping that towards the second half, as Ian Bell has suggested, the pitch breaks down to an extent, going by the reputation of the oval track that we know.
Okay.
And that's where you sort of say that, okay, not only are Ashwin and Jadeja my top spinners, but I can expect day 3 onwards them to have a greater say in the match. That's number 1. 2, and this is where you need to decide, okay, if I am to take conditions out of the picture and just put my head down and see who are my best 11, that is where things become difficult. Are you then putting a Shardul ahead of a Jadeja?
See, there are two things. A, what is your best 11? Who are your best players in that 11?
Yes.
Yeah.
B, horses for courses. Last time what you did, when that even Nikhil
Yes.
was mentioning, last time what we did was we played Kuldeep Yadav and Jadeja together.
Yes.
Even though the overhead conditions, it had rained on the basically the match on the scheduled.
In the build-up, it was raining.
You know, the day it was supposed to start,
Yeah.
that entire day it rained.
Yes.
Still, India didn't change their 11. India played 2 spinners. So, I'm saying you also have to understand and respect the conditions also. Whether maybe India might feel that they are one fast bowler short. Or Ashwin, see why I feel that Ashwin should be the one. If there is one spinner, if you have to play just one spinner, why Ashwin should play is the confidence factor, how he is done well against Manas Labuschagne and Steve Smith, and also the presence of 5 left-handers in that Australian 11.
Third factor, I would say, why Ashwin gets into my TV is because he's one of those players who is ready to take the fight on. That's an added factor with him. He's not one of those meek bowlers, let's say. He is one of those who will not just, as you said, he'll have the plan. He'll have the he'll have the gut to go fight it out as well with the Aussies.
And also, you know, overhead conditions, because in England, especially on this kind of a wicket, the overhead conditions, the ball will travel as in the ball will move around, and also the ball will off the wicket also it will move, not just in the air but off the wicket also. That's why it becomes interesting that who's standing behind the stumps.
True.
For the fast bowlers. We've seen KS Bharat, we've seen
Both of them practice.
Ishan
yesterday.
Kishan, unfortunately haven't seen with the red ball.
Yeah.
So the ball tends to have a late swing also.
In London, especially.
You need your best keeper in there.
Yeah, that I don't know who you're, because see Ishan
I mean,
Kishan.
whatever best you have at the moment.
Yeah. So
That's the best.
Are you going to trust? You want to have a player who is good at keeping and can bat a bit, or you want to have somebody like Ishan Kishan, which could be a gamble also, by the way.
It's a big gamble. I am very clear between the two two keeping options that we have. I am very clear that KS Bharat has to be your man, and it can't be Ishan.
I would want to take a gamble. You know, I know it's a huge risk, but I would want to take a gamble because see, KS Bharat, I think the team management also hasn't given him too much of confidence in terms of his batting.
4
Because
matches.
4 matches, fair enough. It's not his fault, and I remember we spoke to Gautam Gambhir also. And
Yes,
at that time,
you had that chat, I remember.
At
with
that
him.
time, KL Rahul was very much fit, and there was a suggestion, there was a school of thought that said that you can actually have KL Rahul as your wicketkeeper batsman for this one-off test match. So at that time, he said, Gautam Gambhir said that you are judging KS Bharat for his batting in a test series where every batter failed.
True.
Right.
Every batter failed.
Barring Ahmedabad,
Exactly.
it was just Rohit who got you runs
Yes,
in Nagpur.
Nagpur, and rest everybody failed. So it will be very unfortunate on KS Bharat, but I am saying I just want to. And by the way, KS Bharat also dropped a few catches in that series.
Agreed.
And his batting didn't give
I'm
me
just
too much
saying-
of confidence, although the conditions were not too favorable for the batters. But then he dropped a few catches. At times looked a bit clumsy, but those were very few occasions. As far as Ishan Kishan is concerned, his sample size is 0 for me.
0,
in terms of red ball cricket. I haven't seen him.
But when we talk about KS Bharat and those few mess ups that he did, I think that also came from on his debut match, if I'm not wrong.
I think Ahmedabad also he
Ahmedabad
had
also.
a few
But that was
fumbles.
his,
I think there were about good
nerves.
4 or 5 catches that he dropped all through those 4 matches. What I did like about him was the intent that he showed in Delhi, if I'm not wrong. He got you those quick runs as well, and he was really going ahead and living up to that reputation that he can be an aggressive batter also at times. And it doesn't, for me, like I was saying the other day as well, it doesn't send across the right message to the others out there who come through the domestic circuit.
This is what I feel, and it's not necessarily that the Indian team management also.
So you
thinks
saying
that
if you were
I
there, you would have wanted to take that gamble.
And I think it is better to be safe than sorry. So I believe what you people are suggesting, what majority of the people are suggesting, is that it's a one-off test match. It's the final of a World Test Championship. Let's first be safe, and the safer option is somebody who has already played. And at least with this team management, there is one thing that we've seen is that they at least give you a decent rope. It may or may not be long enough, like the one KL Rahul got, but at least before they reject you, first they will give you decent amount of number of opportunities. So that's one thing. If KS Bharat has played 4 test matches in the last test series, I think he will get a game here also. But I have a gut feeling that Ishan Kishan should play. I want to take that gamble, and with the bowlers, I think they might just play 3 or 4 fast bowlers. So
also, I'll just add to that point about this team management and the way it's gone about its selection, because this team management, in the words of Rahul Dravid, they do value experience, and it shows in the fact that they've called up. Yes, they've recalled somebody like an Ajinkya Rahane. Now, given that and the fact that you have an untested player in Ishan Kishan, vis-a-vis,
but I take it what you said, that this team values experience. That's one thing. It also tells you that how much confidence that you have in your youngsters. By the way, that you had to call back somebody who was already pushed into his retirement by the way.
But that was the case only because you didn't have Shreyas Iyer. You didn't have KL
It
Rahul.
tells you that you do not have confidence in your youngsters. It tells you do not have confidence in the players who are playing in domestic cricket. It also tells you the quality of cricket or the quality of talent that is coming from your domestic cricket. Because you had other options. You had I know Hanuma Vihari didn't have too many runs in the domestic cricket. Where is he? I think he got injured also. If you remember, he played left hand.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Left hand. He played left-handed or with just one arm.
No, with I think he played left-handed.
Yeah,
and
so-
he also got a boundary if I'm not wrong.
Exactly. So so I think with that was the case. So it also tells you. So you can always see it as a positive sign. Somebody will say the glass is half full. Somebody will say glass is half what?
Empty.
Empty.
Anyways, before we wrap, I think there are a few questions. In fact, a lot of them. We can just take them one by one.
Yeah.
Chalo, Gargi,
Yes.
get started.
Saurav Mukherjee is asking, what's the best result Australia can consider? Given they stand no chance of winning, won't be surprised if we end up winning by an innings.
Saurav Mukherjee is a
Wow.
hardcore.
Optimist.
दिल से एक ही आवाज आती है, quite literally.
Saurav, good if this happens.
Yes.
For that, India will have to do really, really well. But for that to happen, Australia will also have to play
Mess it up.
Exactly. And as of now, if you ask me, I think Australia, they start as favorites.
They do.
Just that if I would have been in the Australian camp, I would have wanted Steve Smith to be my captain, not Pat Cummins. Just that.
Okay, Soumya Das Gupta. India will pay dearly for not having an experienced keeper batsman. Not selecting Saha is just not done. Still the best keeper in the world. Red hot form with the bat.
I'm not too sure of both the claims which were made towards the end. And I think the indications have been very clear. Saha hasn't been in the scheme of things for more than a year now. And courtesy, whatever that he had to say.
About Rahul Dravid.
Exactly. I'm not too sure if he's
could be
gonna see the Indian dressing room in the near future.
No. I think the ship has sailed for Riddhiman Saha.
And with KS Bharat, I think it was time for the Indian management to kind of bring him up because, like you said, it's about sending a message, right?
Once Rishabh was injured, KS Bharat was the only... Because KS, remember, he's kept wickets for you. I think there was this one test match in
New Zealand.
Kanpur where
I think New Zealand series it was.
Where he just had to come in briefly. Well, the thing being, he's
was it
travelled with the team. Yes, he did just come in and...
No, KS Bharat, by the way, has been travelling with the Indian team for more than 12 months now.
Exactly.
Before Rishabh got injured, he was travelling with the Indian team for so many tours.
Exactly. So he was next in line anyway. After Rishabh got injured, after whatever fiasco that happened, or whatever, Riddhiman Saha came out and said, and Rishabh Pant got injured, there was just one person in the queue, and that was KS Bharat for you.
Okay, singularity from England, I believe.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, India's best chance is not a flat pitch but a pitch with spice and swing. Australia bowling edges are bowling in flat pitch.
No. We saw what happened in Ahmedabad.
No, but he's saying flat pitch would be
Batting.
flat,
Batting
Ahmedabad. So what I think I agree, but for that to happen, I think Indian bowlers have done exceedingly well in the last few years.
Exactly.
It's the batters, especially the openers. Every time you get runs from your top order, more often than not, you have won in foreign conditions, be it Brisbane, be it Oval, by the way.
And just to add to that, you start right all the way, let's say from the South Africa series. If you see consistent, and then in between that you had the Border Gavaskar Trophy as well, which played both in India and over there. When you look at all these bilaterals that India has been part of, the one common thing is India making it a habit of taking all 20 wickets.
Now, I think, bowlers have always done well.
Exactly. It's
because
the batting.
you have the bowling lineup to dismiss the opposition twice in a test match. It's the batters. It's the batters who... See, if you remember that Adelaide test where India were bowled out for just 36. You would remember on the day when India were bowled out for 36, the evening before, India was still in with a very good chance. There was a pretty decent chance that India could still win that test match. Suddenly, they come out in the morning and are shut out for just 36 runs. The match was over there and then. So, it's the batters. There also your bowlers had done. Every time your batters will get runs, bowlers, I think they know their job, they will get you wickets. I can't say this time. You have Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj. They at least in the IPL, they were very good. Both of them
breathing fire.
Yeah. So I just hope they are able to replicate the same sort of a performance in this test match with the red ball, with the Duke's ball, which will keep moving for the entire day. Because of the conditions also, and also because the Duke's ball. Because Kookaburra, because it doesn't have that sort of a pronounced seam, Kookaburra, and also it's a usually these right now I have an SG ball with me, so these are hand stitched, the seam, and Kookaburra isn't. It's you stitch it
flatter.
So it's flatter, so it stops moving around, it stops swinging after a point. So Duke's ball, it will keep moving and throughout the day. And also the conditions, the overhead conditions will ensure that the ball moves in the air, and the wicket. Off the wicket also the ball will move considerably. So that's the key that or that's what the batters will encounter here in Oval, not here but there in Oval. So rest we'll see. Abhishek Rawat, do you think that the wicket is a bit dry underneath and hence the grass has been left for game to move on initial days and not get a dull draw? Two class spinners key in that case.
I don't think, Rahul, that this is the this grass has been kept there to hold the pitch together, because it's a raw pitch, as we know already. So I'm not too sure.
Yeah, and if there is some dampness on the wicket, I think Ashwin even Jadeja for that matter, you know, for spinners, if the wicket is damp, it will grip also.
Yeah.
So YV says he disagrees with me, I hope, or I don't know whether it is Rahul Rawat or Rahul Dravid. He says that Ajinkya was called because it was ICC finale. It was a normal, had it been a normal series, don't think he would have made a comeback. You cannot push a debutant into an ICC final. I agree to a great extent, but that is exactly what I am also saying, that you do not have confidence in your youngsters that they can play in a big match, in a big tournament straight away. You would remember YV. So Shreyas Iyer, by the way, had almost pushed Ajinkya Rahane out of the test squad. He got the opportunity to play at home against New Zealand, got a 100, got a 50, got a match winning 100 and then got a match saving 50 also, Shreyas Iyer.
Yeah.
Next thing what happens, you are travelling to South Africa. Who played the first test match? Ajinkya Rahane, because you didn't have confidence in Shreyas Iyer. And the second test match, Virat Kohli pulled out. Ajinkya Rahane was still there in the 11. You still had an opportunity to play Shreyas Iyer, but there what happened? I think Shreyas had a stomach bug. So you know, there are a few things that at times you need to read between the lines also. I agree that, but that's exactly what I'm saying. You do not have confidence. If I know Shreyas Iyer is injured, then play Surya Kumar Yadav. You had almost declared.
But then, see, with Surya, I'm
saying Ajinkya Rahane is the perfect choice. Is the perfect choice to play at that position in England, in South Africa. But then there was a time, so it's a change in thought process also.
Yeah.
Were you done and was his career done and dusted, Ajinkya Rahane, and suddenly you've got him back because now you don't have options.
True.
Abdul Rahman is saying, let's check my spine. To judge Rohit Sharma's performances in all formats with fairness in all big matches, if you are a genuine, I didn't get this. What is he trying to say? That he's done very well, or has he done very poorly in the?
I think the latter.
Acha, chalo, theek hai. Yeah, that's a fact.
No, we've said that Rohit's not gotten you runs. Even in the IPL, we said it that knockout matches 26, I believe, is his highest score, and he struggled. But let's also not forget this one point. Who's that? Abdul Rahman, right? I must also point out in this WTC cycle, by the way, if you're looking at it, last 2 years, he's your second best batter.
After Pujara.
No, after Aksar. Aksar averages 45 and he averages 43.
No, you're saying that he is the second highest run getter?
No, second best averaging batter that you have in the Indian side.
No, he is the second highest run getter also. And
Okay.
in terms of average also.
Yeah, so because I was looking through the numbers, it is Aksar who, by the way, has played the least of all the top 5 run getters for India, averages about a 45 in this WTC cycle. Your second best batter happens to be your captain. That is with an average of 43. Much better than that of Virat Kohli, by the way, who's doing very well at the moment, and of course he's regained the form. But to be fair to Rohit Sharma as well, he's been one of your better batters, let's not forget.
Before we wrap up, Aditya Kavalekar is saying India should play their best bowling lineup regardless of the conditions, which is Shami, Siraj, Umesh, Ashwin and Jadeja. Ashwin better chances to take wickets in better and a better batter than Shardul. So he does not. Maybe Aditya tomorrow.
This is my 11 as well. With these 5, we know the top 6 already. Because I'll tell you why. Because I'm also of the belief that, on the day, we don't know. There is an unpredictability factor to the conditions that will always remain.
Yeah.
Let me go in with my best 11. Simple as that.
Alright. So I think it's time to take your leave, and we'll be back. In fact,
2:30 tomorrow.
Yeah, there's an important test match, perhaps
Very important.
one of the most important test matches
For India.
for India and perhaps in the careers of many of these Indian players who are going to play tomorrow. So tomorrow the match starts at 3 p.m. not at 3:30 by the way. Usually you would remember that in England the match starts at 3:30. This test match, the World Test Championship final, is going to start at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
That's an
So toss at 2:30, right?
toss will be at 2:30. So we'll be here with you.
2:15 in that case.
Yeah, we'll be here with you on Sports Today, and Nikhil will also be joining us from Ground Zero, that is right outside the Oval, where all the action is going to take place. So you have lots of stuff coming your way, but for that you have to subscribe to Sports Today. You have to like, share, and also press that bell icon so that every time we go live, every time there is a news update or anything, you are the first one to get to know about it. For the time being, bye bye.